Hi guys, Chris here at Purely Outdoors, and today I'm delighted to show you a brand new premium inflatable awning brand. This is Telta, and today we're reviewing the Pure model. Let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so before we get into the full exterior and interior review, I just want to mention what the Telta brand is designed to do. So it's a premium inflatable awning that's designed for touring use. So if you're someone that wants to use the awning for a week or two at a time across the year, whether that's early spring or late autumn, this awning can perform in all conditions. It's also suitable for caravans and motorhomes, and it gives you that ability to pitch it really quickly with their air inflation system. We'll get into the full technical details on that as we run through the video, but firstly a quick overview of the Telta brand. So it's a perfect sort of British and Scandinavian mix. So you've got all that functionality of British design, and you've got all that lovely Scandinavian fabric and quality. It's a really, really nice mix. And yes, it's the newest awning brand in the UK and Europe, but the founders and the team have got a rich history in the awning market, and they've really perfected it with this Telta design. Let's get straight into the exterior features now and run through those. Okay guys, so let's sum up the Pure range before we start. So this is the smaller of the three models that you can see here. So it's 260, so 2.6 meters wide, and they all have a standard depth of 2.5 meters. So that really nice sort of compact porch awning, it really does tick the box, this model here. If you are sort of a larger family, you've got greater storage needs, definitely check out the 330 and 390 models as well. But I think the first thing to note from a design perspective, which I love, is how flat fronted this awning is. So it gives you that great head height here, and especially on this 260 model, you've got one huge panel at the front, and I think that's a really sort of unique quality to this Telta Pure awning. In terms of fabric, this for me really is the unique selling point. So it's the holy grail of touring awning fabric. So it's the first sort of lightweight, breathable touring awning option that we see. And the way it achieves that is using a poly cotton fabric. So it's lightweight enough to be used for touring, but it sort of gives you all that quality that you need of a seasonal awning. So it lets the airflow through the fabric itself. So in the winter months, it's going to keep the warmth in. In the hotter months, it's going to let that hot air escape. So it reduces condensation, and it means it performs the whole way across the season. So really, really clever fabric, and one that I'm a big advocate here at Purely Outdoors. So next we're going to talk about is the inflation system. So as you can see, single point inflation with this left valve here. So it comes with a manual pump. You want to be pumping this one up to 9 psi, and as all the air beams are fully integrated, it's going to distribute that air around and give you this really nice sort of drum tight appearance, and the fabric just sits really nicely on that inflation system. So next you can see deflation valve in this bottom right corner. So that's going to let the air escape, and again, just as quick as it is to pitch, the air drops out very, very fast, and it means you can get packed away from the site really quickly. So in terms of the inflation system itself, it's a very lightweight construction. So that's one of the great benefits, is that you've got the outer frame of this Pure model here, but you haven't got a central beam, so that reduces the weight. So it's around 20% lighter than other models on the market, and it's a much smaller pack size. So I think total weight on this one's around 23 kilograms, which is a very manageable weight. And especially when all the panels are removed, which they can be with the versatility of this model, you can fully remove all the panels. That means one person can just thread this straight through the rail, so it becomes a really functional product as well. And as we mentioned, once all the panels are zipped out, it gives you that sort of awning straight to a sun canopy feel. So it's sort of two products in one, a really clever system that the guys at Telta have produced there. So we're now going to just work our way into the interior and talk through some of the key interior features. Okay guys, so we're in the Pure 260 now on the interior, and I think the first thing to note is how spacious this is. So normally on a sort of 260 model, it may feel quite cramped. This one doesn't, and the main reason for that is the head height at the front of the awning. So if you're someone that likes to position their table and chairs or seating area to the front of the awning, normally you sort of have that reduction in height, so they slope down to the front, whereas this Pure model doesn't. It really keeps that head height, and it means that the full footprint of the awning is usable space. So a really clever feature there. And I think a main feature from an interior perspective that I love is just how clear and how large these awning windows are. So floor to ceiling PVC, super clear, and it just lets that light get into the awning and makes it a really nice space to be in. So as you can see, we've got the one panel front in there, and as we mentioned before, you've got the toggle points where you can roll the panel up completely, but then as we see on the side windows, you've then got really large, nice, spacious windows to the side as well, so it lets light come in from all angles. But then if you do need the privacy, you've got these really nice cotton touch curtains that again are a one-piece design that clip in really quick and easy, and it means you can get all of that privacy very quickly. So we'll just slide that back. And then another key accessory I just want to talk about is the veranda pole that we've got in here. So at the start of the video you saw how we draped the front panel over this veranda pole, so a really nice feature that allows that extra ventilation to get in the summer months, and you can also stop pets as well. It gives it that natural enclosure, so you can use it as a veranda pole, but then you can also switch it to be used as a hanging rail. So especially in the wetter months where you might have wet towel or clothing, you can simply drape these over, and then when it's not in use you can just clip them straight out of these lugs, and it's just again a really nice versatile accessory from Telta. Really clever system there. Now let's talk about the side panels. So as you can see, great benefit to the Telta side panels on their awnings is the head height. So we're not having to duck down. We've got that lovely head height, and that means that when we're entering it as a doorway, as you can see here, we've got the mesh panel in there. You're not having to duck to get inside the awning. So really clever feature. They're also interchangeable, so you can switch both side panels over, or you can change them so that the door element is more towards the front of the awning. You can really tailor it to how you like it. I think another key thing to mention as well, yes, you've got a lot of mesh ventilations on the sides, but if you want the full panel to be mesh vented, it is an optional extra. You can zip out the panels and put those in as well. And if you've got greater storage needs and you need that sort of extra space for either sleeping or storing, bikes and stuff like that, you can zip out either side panel, and they tell to have an extra large tall annex that also acts as sort of an extension to the awning because it's so tall and it's got so much light and window panel in that product. It gives you that extra expanse to either side of the awning. So another key thing to mention is how it attaches to the van. So a really clever system. As you can see, you've got the foam pads in here. You can purchase the optional upright poles with the awning, so that presses against the foam pad, sits in the little pocket at the top, and it gives you a really nice secure seal to the van itself. Not only that, also has pre-punched holes, so you could then use suction devices to give you that extra tight seal, but a really clever system there. So let's talk about some other key optional extras now. So as you can see, we've got this lovely awning lighting in here. So all of the air beams have the Velcro tabs, so you can link up some nice 12-volt lighting around the awning and make it a really nice well-lit space. For an underfoot perspective, to make it feel that extra bit homelier, they produce a breathable carpet. So really important on pitches around the UK that you have that breathable flooring option now. Not only that, it's also a reversible model, so you've got a darker side and a lighter side. You can choose which one you like best. So really clever product there as well. Now we're going to take a walk outside, and we're just going to have a look at how the multi-height system works and the versatility from that perspective. Okay guys, so let's talk about now how the Pure model attaches to your caravan or motorhome. So as you can see, we've got a twin beaded K-door strip. So great benefit of that is it can attach to a traditional C-rail on a caravan, so a 6mm beading, or it can be used in conjunction with a wind out awning on a motorhome. So you can slide it in, you can unwind your wind out awning slightly, thread it through the 4mm channel, wind it back in, and then it gives you that solution for both a caravan and a motorhome. So a really good little system there. And as we talk about that between a caravan and motorhome, let's talk about how this multi-height system works. So as you can see, we've got this large zip that runs from front to back on the awning itself. If you're a caravaner and you're between the height of 235 and 250, you don't really need to play about with this too much because you're going to be within that height range. The only thing I would say, if you are on an uneven pitch, I mean, we've got the benefit here of perfectly flat surface, but on those uneven pitches, great benefit is that you can unrelease this sort of gusset slightly on one or both sides, and it just helps you with that pitching to make sure it sits really nicely on those uneven pitches. If you are a motorhomer and you're between that 250 and 265, it's a case of just releasing the first zip. That gives you that little bit extra height. And if you then got a coach-built motorhome, you want to then release the secondary zip, and that then gives you the full height range to 280. So a really clever product. If you are someone that's a caravanner and you are considering switching to a motorhome, again, you're not having to buy a second awning. It's sort of a one size fits all, so a really, really clever sort of design feature there from Telta. Some other key exterior points to talk about are the sort of strapping. So as you can see, it's got this mid-level heavy duty guy line in here in this really nice sleek grey colourway. It just blends in nicely with the awning. In those gustier conditions, it'd definitely be worth considering purchasing the optional tie-down kit. So it just gives you that extra sort of anchorage point from a higher level. It's a really nice little optional extra there. But I think in summary, this Pure model, yes, it's the entry model for the Telta range, but it really gives you that premium inflation awning. So it gives you an abundance of sizes. So as we mentioned, 260 all the way through to 390. So you can pick the size that suits you best. It's got all of that height range versatility. So caravans, motorhomes, ticks both boxes. And you've got that premium but lightweight touring fabric, which for me is just the unicorn sort of selling point for this product. So a really lovely awning. We're going to be doing a full review video of all the Telta models in the range, and we're also going to be doing shorter form videos with James Stacey, who's the head of sales at Telta, who's going to run through a bit of the background of Telta and also sort of the top exterior and interior features to the awnings as well. So definitely worth checking those videos out. But if you've got any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. But thanks so much for watching.